let's get into what conversion content actually is. There are exactly 5 assets that do the job, right? When it comes down to conversion. So how do we get a follower into a customer? Every dollar I've collected came through one of these 5 sources, right? Every dollar your competitor collects comes through these 5. Like, who believes that we make money? It's very simple, right? It's like, if you realize this, you start to think about it differently, or at least I do, right? And I hope you do as well. We don't make money. We all take money from each other. It's the thing, right? You can add on by printing it, right? That's what that's what people do, it's easy, but you take money from people. If people have a problem and they desire a solution, they will choose between people. So if somebody else, my competitor, makes money, I lost that money. That's how you need to view it, because that's the reality, right? Because that problem that person wants to solve will still be there. If you can't solve somebody else's problem, they will go to your competitors to try to solve it. If they can solve it, they'll go to somebody else until it's solved, because pain, right? People tend to take any action ever as long as the pain is big, right? Big enough. And we can put this into perspective as well, like what is big pain? For some people that experience a big pain, it's worth 50 grand to solve it for them because the pain is bigger. Right? Like if something is bad going to happen to your family, you would do everything to solve that problem. Doesn't matter if it's any amount of money, any amount of this, any amount of connections. Doesn't matter. You get the point. Now, you might be running one, maybe 2. The operators, people making real money, run all 5. Let me name them. So 1 is the specific story sequence. And tomorrow I'm going to share more in depth about this, but I think it's very important to understand that this is how it works. So I posted story sequences since 2022, so since I really started my business, beginning 2023. And like, I'm sometimes trying to figure out how to explain people why you must run story sequences. In all honesty, I don't always have an answer for this. Because I feel like sometimes if I explain it to people, they do make the YouTube videos, they do run the reels, but they're not making the story sequences. They're forgetting the most important part, right? And for me, it's so important because I see why it works for me. Meaning, this is the thing. I need to understand how to translate my thoughts into somebody's brain for them to believe the same thing. If you can picture in your head why story sequences work well, you'll try it and you'll do it and you're excited to do it. But you're not now because you don't see the end destination of where it could get you, right? Because if we all know per story you make 10 grand, you would do it tomorrow, you would do it today, you would do it now. It's super simple, right? And that's my job, to be able to translate that correctly. Now, talking about translation, it's like, this is also interesting. Like, an expert isn't a good mentor, right? Or a good coach. The difference is you need to understand how to translate your thoughts. So I could be very, very, very much of an expert in whatever, story sequences. If I can't translate it for you guys to understand it, that does not directly mean that I'm a good mentor or a good coach. So there are 2 different parts, like understand the actual skill and the actual level of expertise, and then understand the importance of knowing how to translate it to other people. And that translation doesn't come, or that communication, doesn't come from your own thoughts. It's getting them to understand what they need and what they want. Building a quality audience, people always say, like, how do I build a qualified audience? Doesn't come from you thinking. It comes from asking from them. Because your audience decides the quality of your brand, right? By the people that you attract and the people that you engage with. Now, story sequence is very important. Lead magnets, this is the one that I was just talking about. Get a free personalized $10 million brand game plan to sell your expertise online at scale. The reason this is important is because when we have one big lead magnet and people fill in questions, make a photo of that. People fill in a lead magnet and they actually ask questions. They go to stage 1. So imagine Dan goes to stage 1, Ibrahim goes to stage 2, Conrad goes to stage 3. You get that specific pain point at that specific problem, right? And then we also have their current business situation attached to it. So, for example, we have offer, positioning, conversion, acquisition, marketing, and systems, right? I ask the same question with the amount of revenue based on the problem that they have, right? So for example, they have a drop down with 6 answers. What are you currently struggling with? And then it's like, do you need more traffic? Traffic is, they go to the marketing side. And explains everything about traffic. Do you need better conversion, more buyers? Do you need better team? They go to that side. And I reframed the question perfectly to not use that one word in that sentence, if that makes sense. Tell me.
The title, was it like framed that way on purpose in terms of like a very wide audience? You know, like put brand, no prerequisite, and then
Exactly.
like both ends, right?
The more you build your brand, the less you start to use money and numbers. So I want to bring this to you in the right way. I use numbers a lot to build my brand. And I feel like slowly I start to go out of the evasion, the process of using numbers less. So you want to make 100 grand a month, you want to make $1 million a year, you want to make 10K per client. I don't use numbers anymore. Like, it's very important that you realize what's important to you. And I feel like if I say, for example, right, you want to build an info business. Who knows the word info business here? Almost everyone, right? This is the fun fact. I went to Claude. I said, how many people know the word info business? I think the answer, and correct me, we can do research on this after, was 200,000 people. And in my mind, like, everybody knew the word info business because we only speak to people that know it, right? Meaning you can never expand the people that you want to reach. And that's why you keep lying to yourself that you know certain words that people are not even aware about. So the language that you use is so important. It's so fucking crucial. Sell your expertise online. What do you think of when you sell your expertise online? You think about people that are skilled, that want to sell their expertise online. Now, that could be a doctor, right? That could be like a surgeon. That could be like a business owner. It could be a construction worker. It could be anyone. So that's the reason why you need to be very precise with the people that you do choose. Now, this is the thing about money. Every single time you share a number, it's always divided by 3 based on the people that you attract. So let's say I say, get your free personalized $10 million brand game plan. That will speak to people that are making like 1 to 3 million to 5. When you say, people don't make who has ever used the sentence or the phrase, you want to make 100 grand a month? Especially looking at LaRouche, Mark, Conrad. I've used that for a while. I attracted people and got people on calls that make like 30 to 50. So always know that it's divided by 3, right? And it could be in like any fitness niche or any, that's just like the scenario, that's just the situation. That's very important to understand. Did I answer your question?
Very well.
Perfect. CTA, assets. We have a recurring process right now on who saw the Mr. Nick Setting YouTube channel? Somebody saw that? Yes, okay, cool. So what we're currently doing is when you get to a certain point in business where, because this is the thing, right? Who is the feeling sometimes that you kind of already shared everything? Like you kind of already, like you've walked through the same shit multiple times. Like what else is there to share? Like there's not more to talk about for me than offers, acquisition, team, maybe creative content and offers. Like what else? I cannot talk about anything else. And the fun thing is people always trying to find like new things to talk about. But it's not about talking about new things. It's talking about the same things in different ways for the rest of my life. I'll be talking about the same thing for fucking 10 years, 15 years, 20, just in different ways, right? For different people to understand it. That's why some people have the same problem sometimes. And then this is the thing. If there are 2 people with the same problem, and I speak to them in a certain way, for one it will be painful, for the other one it won't. Meaning if I change my angle, for the other one it won't be painful. And then, you see what I mean? So it switches, it changes. CTA, assets. When you've done a decent amount of masterminds, like Ibrahim, for example, Amber's lectures, like whatever that is, right? You have been in groups with people, whether that's online or physically. You get to a certain point where you have shared so many different things, right, with so many different angles. And that is the point where I decide to create a second YouTube channel. Now, why is this important? The reason this is important is because sometimes views is like genuinely something that doesn't matter at all. Meaning, if you get to a certain point in business, and I got to this point with my Nick Setting YouTube channel, where things went slowly more broad. Along the way I evolved, and that's a natural process, right? I went from making like a super fucking niche like appointment setting video with all the documents and the scripts like 2 years ago to sitting with Herman and Aaron, CMO, CO, in like a studio in Dubai, helping like a girl like improve her offer, right? There was a branding. It was one of my last videos. I don't know if people saw it. The one of the unique concepts. And the fun fact is, it's hard to go back, right, to then making a super simple Miro video, because why would I do that? It's kind of like brand diminishing, right? Like it's like you dilute your brand quality. That's the truth, right? So what is the solution for this? Who is sometimes, whether you're afraid to make content sometimes, or if you want to try, this is a very important one, nobody's afraid, most of you aren't. If you want to try something new, fucking make a second YouTube channel, because it's like, you can try, it doesn't matter if it works or not. Right? If people see it doesn't matter, you can just try everything and it doesn't dilute the quality of your current brand. It's one of the most valuable things you can do. And this helped a lot for me specifically, because right now we're segmenting it in two different ways. So we have two blocks, right? One is like the niche videos where I share more about like how to remove yourself from one-on-one and how to go over to group meetings. Now this is valuable for a lot of you guys. You would rather watch that video than how to make $10 million with this fucking content framework, right? You're like, okay, cool, interesting, but I need to watch that video with my specific pain points. So if you're gonna grow your brand, you keep it broad on the one channel that you've grown over time over the years. And on this other channel, I can post a video like every week. My team does that, Max helps me, and you can just post it constantly. And you have the ability to just provide value for the things that are necessary. Right? So that could be, for example, like a video about, listen, how, when you're making X amount of money, how to get yourself out of the one-on-one and change the group. And it's a great example of this. If you want to do that, by the way, I'll give you the answer to it, so you don't have to watch the video. Currently, at the moment, if people want you for your one-on-one, what you should do to switch the group is understand one thing. People want to get to the outcome. The only reason why they constantly ask you to be involved in the one-on-one is because they see you as the only vehicle that can get them to the outcome. So to solve this problem, share your team in your content, right? Share other people in your content. Share more processes or mechanisms in your content so people can find different ways to understand the solution or the thing on how they can get to the destination. Because trust me, like as much how some people love me, right, and want to hop on a one-on-one call with Nick Setting, it's all great. They don't care about the fact that they hop on a call with me. They just want to get to the fucking end destination. So realize it's not about you and about how you position yourself. Just share more things, right? Like share more things about other people, about your brand, about any other mechanisms that you can utilize for people to have the ability to open their mind and see that there are other opportunities available. Let's say, right, you want to sell community. Super simple. Let's say you want to sell community. People are like, yeah, I don't sell community. People won't want me for my one-on-one, right? People don't buy my course. If I would launch a course right now, it would never work. Easy. If you want to sell community, show every fucking third picture, show 10 people in one shot. Show live testimonials. Show like the engagement with people. It's super simple. Like you attract, it's the fucking most simple thing on earth, right? I know, Juliana, like you have that very position very well, and Claudia as well, where you have like the awards with people, right? And like all that, it's a community feeling. So people most likely never have this specific question. I only want to work with you, otherwise I don't do it. Or I do this or I do, otherwise they need to upsell and they pay a lot more money. But they know and they understand it. And that's the same with me now, right? It's like people don't, the same with this. One more example. I'm very excited to talk about this topic, but me and Herman had a very big problem in the past where people showed up and they told me, yo, where's Nick? Nick is not on the call. Like I expect Nick to show up on my sales call, right? And I was like, how do we solve this problem? It's by making sure that when I make a pre-call video, me and Herman sit down together and he explains the process and I talk highly about Herman. That way, people see Herman and everybody that gets on the call, I never ever in my life got the question anymore, Nick, why are you not on the sales calls? It's super simple. Or I'll try to make it simple. Right, Christy? Good. CTA framework. Content is hard until you build systems like this. It took me only 10 hours to hire a new appointment setter. You have certain like niche, interesting topics. Everybody knows that there are certain words that you say or certain like familiarity, like how do I say that? Like things that you say that just makes people watch. So if I make a video about anything related to brand or content, it gets more views. If you go to Mr. Nick Setting and you go to the popular videos, you'll see the top 3 videos are all about content because that's what people care about most. Does that mean it's the only problem you solve? No, but the right brand differentiation is the same thing for tomorrow's topic as well. Is like you want to 20% of the time talk about and show and share things about your personality, and 80% you being the expert about the specific topic that you're talking about. It's like a very good balance. Bottom of the funnel content. The best bottom of the funnel content is like content that is niched. It's content that is related to clients and experiences. It's content that is related to anything related to clients and transformations, right? Because ultimately, like, why do people pay? I'm standing in the middle of everyone. Why do people pay? The reason why people pay is because they feel that they can make the same transformation as somebody else, right? And also understand this. Imagine you're sharing like so many different things in your content around clients and community and group and environment. You will get people that value group, community, and environment, right? And who does value that? Like, who values group, community? And are that younger people, older people? Is that a specific, like, you can figure that out for yourself, right? Because what you share is what you get. So people ask me the question, Nick, how do I figure out messaging or positioning? Share the thing that you want. It's like that's the easiest way to position yourself in your own way and attract what you desire, right? Now, this is the thing, right? You most likely ask yourself the question, if I do change it now, people that want one-on-one in my audience will most likely not change. And the fun fact is that people listen to you because you're the authority. So when you tell them something is right, in their mind it's right. Because they're here to learn, they're here to experience something new, right? If I think the profile funnel is the method, it's like people stand against it or people like it and believe in it. Like, that difference is what matters because people will never pay when there's like a neutral balance. The most powerful brands on earth are like hated and loved. So what do you do to be hated? Ask yourself that question, right? And what do you do to be loved? It's like there needs to be a perfect balance in between these things. But understand that like neutral kills all the time, right? And that's like something that won't ever get you anywhere because people start comparing you with everybody else. And like, if there's one thing that matters today, it's like, how can I separate myself from everybody else? How can I be different? Because it's not about having the better system. It's not about having a better fucking process. It's like when you compete on deliverables, price, or any other situation related to that, it's like a race to the bottom. It's a race to the bottom. You go down and down and down. And like, this competitor charges this. No, you know what? Like, everybody charges here, my competitor. I charge fucking there. Right? And we sell the best, we make the most amount of money, we're number one. Easy. Story sequences are the one that does most of the work, and you have like different elements of it. So one very big example, if you don't know how to make, or if you don't know how to create certain story sequences, just share like a lifestyle picture. What I'm doing recently on a mastermind, most likely yesterday, the day before, right? Because I don't have time to do that, or my team has other constraints or they want to do other things. When you don't know what to do, you can do a Q&A. Like, ask people questions. Your audience wants to know more about what you do and what you value. So you can do these types of things. But the most important thing about a story sequence is you want to tell a story, right? So like a story that you can capture people in. So the one story perfectly fits with the next one and perfectly fit. So people keep that retention, right? That's super crucial. It's like people want to go through the flow and they keep that attention to you because that's exactly what matters. And if there's one thing that I can tell you that genuinely matters for people to buy, is the longer you can keep their attention, the more likely they'll ever become a customer of you. And I think that's like truly important and something that people really don't understand or don't value enough, right? It's like super, super important. So we're going to spend more time on this here. We post a story sequence at least 5 times a week. Holy shit, you're super consistent. That's crazy. That's good, that's good, that's good. Yes.
Are you doing it by yourself, or the team is doing it for you? Who is doing the story sequence?
You know what the most difficult thing is about story sequences, about brand? Story sequences is like the one acquisition source that is most personal. It's super personal. You can share anything on there you want, right? And you can test anything on story sequences. So You can always automate it, but it will give away that personal touch. And that personal touch is the only thing that matters because the story sequences are built for that. So what I would recommend is you find a balance between it. If you share your things about, like that, well, you just did, you made a story there, right? Or like a video, easy. So you know, right? You share that. You can share that. It's like click.
Sometimes I can do this a lot, but I think like my team is not. They don't understand. Yeah, that's a fucking problem.
They never. But you know why? Because it's you. Like it's personal. People cannot read your mind. It's like I expect Max, my head of content creator, to read my mind in everything. It's impossible, right? So choose the balance between structured and personal. So 3 times a week you share whatever the fuck you want. And the other times you make your team create a storyline of a process that they can follow. So at least when you don't share anything, the story will be posted 4 times a week based on the technical things. And you don't spend any time on your personal things because you pick up your phone, you do this, yo guys, and done, click. Right? Story sequences are the highest trust content you can ever produce. Every time someone watches one, the likelihood of buying goes up. So I always see it like this. Every single time somebody watches your story, it increases the conversion potential by 1%. 100% is they'll become a customer. Meaning, if people watch 100 of your stories, they'll become a customer. So if you post a story sequence every day, and you do that for 100 days, and people watch every single one, they'll become a customer. That's the average data that we have collected from all of our brand elements and the things that we have created. Problem is, if you're not consistent with your content, what truly happens in your brand is people start to forget you. Like who has realized the importance of, who has heard that thought before of like top marketers in this world as well with like big brands like Nike? The only thing for them to do is they don't need to shift beliefs in people. They just don't need, they just need to show their logo like enough times and it needs to pop up in people's brain over and over again. So even if you feel like you're not saying something valuable, you're not doing this, just share your face, like do something to make people see you again. It's like after a certain amount of time, people get so frustrated that they're like, I gotta figure out what it is about. Like you've seen people blow up on Instagram in the past or on TikTok, right? And the reason you see them blow up and the reason you know everything about them is because every single time you scroll, after every 4th reel, you see the same person. So at a certain time, you're just like, yeah, the fuck, like, what does he do to show up on my feed like every 4th slide or every 4th scroll? When you don't post story sequences or you don't do it, it decreases the conversion potential. So the beauty about this is when you're always consistent, you can never lose. It doesn't matter when people opt in because you'll never lose, right? Because it adds on 1% every single day. For some people, it takes 20 stories. For other people, it takes 3 stories. And other people, it takes 100 stories. But if you do it every day and you're consistent with your work, you just can't lose, right? Because the profile funnel, and specifically the profile funnel with the whole content system, right, is all about the ability to constantly do certain things for long enough so people at a certain point are tired of their own problems and they just pay you to solve it for them, right? And that's why in 2026 onwards, what it will all be about. They do the heavy lifting before a sales call ever happens. They filter unqualified leads automatically. They build trust faster than any other format can. It is a dream conversion source because a pre-sold client pays faster, argues less, and stays for longer. I think I've been working with some people here for almost 2 years, and others a year, and others a couple months.